You say, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pens and Tea. My name is Carrie. This is Parker. She's sleepy. It's late at night, but we're gonna make a video anyways, right, babe? Let's go talk about the most important fountain pen. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pens and Tea. My name is Carrie. Today is going to be the last day, hopefully with poor-ish audio. The microphone that I was using is completely kaput now. It is no more, so I am recording off of just the in-speaker microphone-ish, but the mic that I ordered, thank you to my Patreon supporters for supporting me on Patreon. Link in the description if you'd like to be one of them. Because of you guys, I've been able to buy a new mic. So this should be the last video where there is kind of poor audio. But I still wanted to make a video today. Ironically, I made a video 2 times ago, or was it this morning? I don't remember which ones now, but it was super early in the morning before the sun came up. Now it's super late at night. The sun is long set. It is almost midnight, but it's the holiday season. It's been busy, right? I know. Parker doesn't understand what I'm doing because I never film this late. But I don't want to miss, I don't want to miss a day. And I thought about what kind of video I wanted to make, and one of my all-time popular videos is talking about the most important fountain pen that you could buy, and that is the Jinhao X159. I still stand by that. It's not what this video is about, obviously, but I still stand by it as one of the most important fountain pens that you could buy if you are thinking about, like, quote unquote upping your game and going like the Montblanc 149 direction, because that pen is hella expensive and this is not. And you're gonna get a pretty similar experience, to be fair, with like the size and the bulk of the pen. Jeez Louise. But that made me think, okay, like that's the pen I think is the most important pen that you could buy. But what is the most important fountain pen for me? And I had to think long and hard about that, because there was a couple pens that came to mind, one of which was the Platinum 3776 fountain pen, because that one was the very first gold nib fountain pen that I ever bought. So I've had this pen for almost a decade now, and it was the very first gold nib pen that I ever bought. It is amazing and I love it, and I will never sell it. I will always have it. So it means a lot to me. It still smells like Diatramentis Cola, because that tends to be the ink that I put in here. And it is very important fountain pen. And so this was a strong contender for what I thought would be the most important fountain pen for me. The reason why I didn't end up going with it is just simply because I don't tend to use it too much anymore. I only really use it a few times a year. It still holds a very special place in my heart. And it was the top contender until I kind of thought a little bit more about it. So this, I guess, is the second most important fountain pen that I ever bought for myself, because it marked a clear division in my fountain pen career, if you want to put it that way. God, this pen is so special. I love this pen. I love this pen. I love this pen. I love this pen. You guys get it, you know? I love this pen. Another one that I had as a contender was the Pilot Metropolitan. I don't know why my brain just fogged on that, probably because it's midnight. The Pilot Metropolitan, simply because that was the first fountain pen I've ever purchased. But I didn't check it as like the most important because I don't have that pen anymore. I have a Pilot Metropolitan, but it's not the very first one I ever bought. I actually sold the first one I ever bought back when I decided that I was too good for steel nib pens. I was a serious fountain pen user, which is just complete malarkey, like just, no, it's baloney. So I've repurchased, obviously, the Pilot Metropolitan, but I just couldn't bring myself to choose it as like the most important one because it's not, it just isn't. Just because it's the first doesn't mean it's the most important, and it's just not. If you can hear Parker spazzing in the background, you know. So then I thought, okay, well, I really like Kaweco pens, I really like Benu pens, you know, I love my Pilot Custom 912, I love my Pilot Custom 70. This is why I don't make videos this late. 74. I love my Pilot Custom 74. There's so many pens. There's so many pens that I was gonna have as my most important fountain pen ever, but none of them made the cut. So if you're still watching this far and you've watched my videos, you'll know that I've talked about this pen ad nauseum. So this is not gonna be a review of this pen. It's just gonna be why it's the most important for me. And that is the Pilot Custom 912. No, not the 912. It's too late. Pilot Custom 823. The amber version with a medium nib. This pen I chose for a couple of reasons. One, because this was the first time I got a fountain pen where I felt like complete as a fountain pen. Like, one thing that we always search for as fountain pen users is the perfect fountain pen, which I still hold. There's no such thing. Even though this is the most important fountain pen I've ever purchased, it's still not a perfect fountain pen. But it's the first time where I felt like I could stop looking. It doesn't, obviously I've bought many pens since then, but I felt like I could stop looking. It also really paired well with like the warm, cozy comfort vibe. Like, I just feel comfort when I use this pen. I also ink it up a lot with very warm toned inks. I am a warm toned person with fountain pens. So obviously like Mont Blanc, James Purdy and Sons single malt. In fact, it still smells like that because that is what I typically put in here quite a bit. I usually don't love vacuum fill fountain pens, but because I love this pen so much, I don't mind that it's a vacuum fill. I love that it holds a ton of ink because I use it a lot. And I've had to refill this pen multiple times before I've even cleaned it out. It just fits perfectly in my hand. It's the perfect weight. I adore the way that the nib feels on the paper. I like the classic look of the nib itself. The medium nib is really nice. It's smooth. It is very nice and wet. There's no hard starts. There's no skipping. Like, this is just a purely reliable fountain pen. And I couldn't ask for anything better. Like, the reason why I think this is the most important fountain pen is just because it fills me with such joy. And don't get me wrong, like, I love so many other pens, but there's just something about this one. And I was scared to buy this too. I really was, because it's a pretty expensive fountain pen. You couldn't buy it in Canada when I first got it. You can now. There's a couple people that carry them. But I did buy this from the States. And so I took a risk knowing that like I wasn't going to be able to return it very easily. Slight less of a risk only because I've used some pilots beforehand, but it was super expensive, and it's just like I wanted to try it out, but I was like, is it really worth that price point? And yeah, it really is for me. It is like the platinum marked the difference between what I would consider my beginner days as a fountain pen user to my more intermediate days as a fountain pen user, when I decided to really invest in this as a hobby, and take, you know, my fountain pen life to the next step, if you will. This pen marks the definition of I'm home. It really does solidify my joy for fountain pens, what I look for in fountain pens. And at the end of the day, when I eventually turn the camera off and never make videos again, stop buying fountain pens, stop talking about fountain pens, this pen will be one that I will have until I'm old and gray. And it is just so special to me for that reason. And I think I'm still hunting for that pen to take over the way this pen makes me feel. Like I said, I have so many fountain pens that I love and adore, but this just has that space in my heart. And for that reason, it is the most important fountain pen that I've ever purchased. But I am curious to know, what are your most important fountain pen that you've ever purchased? Have you found that pen yet? If so, why? If not, are you looking? Is it something you've even ever thought about before? Because when you get it, you get it. And gosh darn, it's a special thing. It's special. It really is. But guys, I've blabbered on for 12 minutes. It's late. I should really go to bed. I don't know what time it is when you're watching this, but if it's morning, good morning. If it's evening, good evening. If it's the middle of the day, I hope your lunch is delicious. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys next time.